Hi, I'm Mandy Curry with Healthy Kids Inc. and welcome back. All right, so today we're going to be talking about chicken stock and bone broth, and those two words are often used interchangeably. They mean about the same thing. There's a little bit of a difference in the preparation for each of those, so today we're going to be covering both of them. 'Tis the season where a lot of families are starting to bring in ham and turkey and chicken. So the great thing about this recipe is it's going to use the leftover carcasses that you have and any leftover meat. We're going to boil that down into a really delicious and super healthy stock that you can use for future dishes and just to increase the health of your family. So today we're going to be showing you how to do it with a very small organic free-range chicken. What we've done so far is we have our organic chicken that we went ahead and cooked. We're going to go ahead, we're going to take that off of the bone, use the meat for a different meal. Then we will go ahead and show you how we prepare the rest of it. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so we went ahead and got all the meat off of our chicken. Now we are left with what I consider to be the scraps and the leftover meat and then the bones. This is where the health comes out of this. We need to extract as many minerals from these bones as we can. That's what's going to make this the healthiest broth or chicken stock that you have. So we're going to go ahead and put all this into the pan. So let me go ahead and do that. So again, in this we're going to have some of our extra kind of fat drippings here. We have part of the chicken neck, we have the liver, and then we have these gorgeous bones that we're going to extract all of the minerals from. Now, if you want a really healthy bone stock or broth, make sure that your turkey or your chicken is organic and free range. That's the key, because again, you want to make sure that you're getting the healthiest stocks. You want to make sure that your chicken starts out as healthy as possible. Now, from this, all we're going to do is just add a little bit of water. I'm actually going to use some of my drippings from where we cooked the chicken. So I'm going to pour that over first. That'll just help to give it some really good nutrients. I want to make sure this is completely covered. I'll add a little bit of water just to finish it off. I just want to make sure everything is covered. All right, now here's the important part. We want to make sure that we add 2 tablespoons of your apple cider vinegar. This is an organic apple cider vinegar. This is what's going to help to pull those nutrients from the bones. So we're going in with 2 tablespoons. To add to what we are cooking, you can add any vegetables to flavor it up. I'm going to go in with a little bit of parsley, a little bit of celery, onion, garlic, anything that you have, carrots, you can just throw all that in there. It's just going to flavor it up. It's not going to live on. You're not going to be eating that or drinking any part of that. It's just going to help with the flavoring. Turmeric is what we're also going to add. This is a really healthy ingredient. We're going to be adding some powdered turmeric and a little bit of salt and pepper. So all that's going to go in here, and then we're going to let this cook down, and truly the longer that it cooks, the better. You could absolutely let your chicken stock cook for a good 12 hours. You could let it cook for 24 hours if you wanted. This is a really good crock pot meal, so I cooked my chicken in the crock pot. If I wanted to, I could go ahead and just do the broth in the crock pot while I was at work or away from the house. So that's really simple. We're going to add a little bit of salt, and we will add a little bit of pepper as well. And you might even want to come back and season a couple of times throughout the whole cooking process. And finally, we'll go in with the turmeric. It doesn't impact the flavor at all. This is a really great addition. You can actually be generous if you want with this. Okay. Now we're just going to give all this a great little stir. We're going to turn the heat on, and we are just going to let this cook down. And again, we're going to do it for probably about 12 hours. We'll come back and show you what it looks like when we're all done cooking this down. We're just going to go ahead and put this through a strainer, put it into one of our mason jars, and that's all that it takes to finish this out. If you wanted to even go a step further, you could boil the bones down even more. Do another round of your apple cider vinegar, boil your bones down, and you can boil them down for 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. You could just keep them in a crock pot simmering for all that time. It's going to continue to pull all those nutrients out of the bones, and you can continue to use that. There are a lot of people who just drink that. They drink bone broth every morning because it's such a healthy part of your day. I'm going to add a little bit more water to this, again, just to make sure we get everything fully covered. We're going to have plenty of flavor. This ended up being about 1 quart of water that we added to this chicken. So in this case, we're going to go ahead and just stop it with the stock and with our chicken stock that we're going to be making here. And we will show you again in about 12 hours what this looks like. Okay, we have let our chicken stock simmer for about 8 hours. Now you could let it sit for much longer if you wanted. You could do 12 hours, you could do 18 hours, or you could go ahead and just strain what you have right now and then stick the bones back in and do it all over again. And you could keep that going for a little bit of time because there's still plenty of flavor and still plenty of nutrients in here too. But really that is all that you need. So from this point, all you have to do is just grab your big jar any way that you want. All we're gonna do is just strain it. So we're gonna strain all of the meat that is in here out. So we're just going to strain that and just fill our mason jar up with this. It's gonna stay in the refrigerator and it will keep for a good week or so. From this, you can make a number of soups. You could drink it just as is. You could flavor up grains. You could do any of that with it. And again, if you wanted, you could go ahead and repeat this process again, even with the same things that you have. Now here's the finished product. So once you go ahead and you make your entire jar, this is what it looks like after it sat in the refrigerator for a little bit. You can see, again, this had turmeric in it as well, so it's a little bit of a darker color. But as you get on down through this top layer, you're going to start to see the gelatin. The gelatin is in here, and that's a great sign that you've got all the nutrients from the bones. That's what you want. The more gelatin, the better. So all you have to do if you want to make soup, I usually just saute up some onion and a little bit of parsley, maybe a little bit of carrot in there as well. Then I'm going to go ahead and throw in my stock here. Then toward the end, I'll throw in a little bit of cooked chicken, and then I will end it with maybe some brown rice noodles or something that might be of a gluten-free nature. Truly, that is all that it takes to pull off a really healthy chicken noodle soup. Great flavor, great nutrients, that's it, and much, much healthier than you might get at the grocery store. So that's all that it takes to pull off your chicken stock or bone broth. This is a great time of year when you can use your turkey, your chicken, your ham bones, use that to make your stock. It's a great healthy treat for you and your family. It's inexpensive. You can't beat how inexpensive and healthy this is for soup and also for stock. It sure beats having to buy it at the grocery store. So hope you enjoyed this. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel below and also check us out at healthykidsinc.com. We will see you again real soon.